Hey everybody, let's walk through the market today and talk a little bit about it. The pound New Zealand is just making some of the ugliest long divergence lines that I've ever seen. Ever. It's just disgusting. And there's a way to change that. You can see that it's here on tradingview.com. It says bars back. I can set that to 150 instead of 300, and it will shorten up the divergence lines. It will say that a divergence line can be no longer than a certain length, and it will show you the divergences that fit that description. When I tighten it up like that, and I do prefer 150 as the number, when I tighten it up like that, you can see that the divergence has sort of just disappeared here. It's gone, and I think that's a more accurate picture of what's happening right now. We're just not seeing divergence. And we did see divergence. We got in a trade. We got out of break even, or as you'll watch in my video that I've just made, I did not get out of break even and it was a mistake, and there's a lot to learn from that. But for right now, this is just a holding pattern and a waiting zone. And it's not so different than a variety of other currencies. The Australian dollar, US dollar is not divergent. The Swiss yen is not divergent. The Euro Canadian is not divergent, or it was divergent. I call this the soup of the day pattern, big big soup bowl here. And it's not divergent in any way that I can trade. It was divergent, and then price launched up and above that level. I can't really find on the 15-minute chart, which is my preferred time frame. I can't find a trade that I would be willing to take. I did look at the Canadian dollar Swiss franc, which I do like. I took a look at that this morning. Also, the problem with this is that we just simply don't have divergence in a recent area. We've fallen past or below the divergence that we did have. So even on a currency pair like the CAD Swiss that I kind of like, I couldn't find something. Well, the only place I really could find something was the Australian dollar US dollar 60-minute chart. And on this 60-minute chart, you can see that we had divergence. We went up from there through the 23% retracement level at 91.50, dropped back down, and then kind of have started on our way back up. If we get to 91.60, this is a nice trade off of the 1 hour chart with the move to break even at 92.04 and a target at 92.50. I haven't given up on long-term buy trades that are going to last a while on this. I'm just taking a pause from chasing after that one right now. I just want to get into a good one at 91.60 if I can, and then we'll take it from there. We'll manage it from there if we can even get into something. This is the Swiss franc Japanese yen on the 1 hour chart. I know that this is a possible trade here at 113.18. It just looks terrible to me. Just all this crazy movement back and forth and all around, and all the yen pairs launching to the moon. It's a really tough time out there, and this is a trade at 113.18. Stop loss would be at 113.80 because it's on the 1 hour chart. The stop loss is a little bit bigger. Move to break even at 112.81, and a target at 112.50. Got to change that target. The lines have moved. Okay, so that's a reasonable trade to take. I'm just not particularly interested in it. The Euro Canadian dollar is no longer a trade because it's blown through the divergence. And the British pound New Zealand dollar is not a trade either. So we're really low on trades on the 15-minute and the 1 hour charts. What about the 4 hour charts? We've been looking at these for a while. This is the Australian dollar US dollar. 91.52 buy. We've already talked about this being a trade at 91.60 now that 91.50 was already broken. There is a target at 98.40 all the way up here, way up there. But I'd say for now, the target at 92.50 is reasonable enough. It's the same trade on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. This looks better to me. The Swiss yen from the 4 hour looks like the kind of trade I want to take. This is smaller divergences. I love that. The fib structure is obvious and really easy to see. I'm going to raise this level up a little bit. 112.63 is the entry. Now you can take that earlier entry if you want from the 1 hour chart. You can do that. I do like this 4 hour chart better. Move to break even at 111.91 and a target 132 pips lower than our entry at 111.31. This is the Euro Canadian dollar, not divergent. It was, but now we've blown above that level of divergence, and I'm just going to remove all the drawing tools off this chart and forget about it until I see another divergence. And last of all, this is the British pound New Zealand dollar, probably on the way down to 98.06. That's the 38% retracement on the 4 hour chart. And I cannot imagine this doing anything but going just a little bit lower at this point. Maybe it stops here, but maybe it gets to 9,800 even. Maybe it even gets to 96.73. So I'm waiting for that 15-minute chart to go further. It's kind of a bummer, and I know it might take a while, and that's fine. When it finally does turn around, we'll be able to catch it for a really nice move. So have a good day of trading. Good luck out there. I'd say wait another day. Things are probably going to perk up a bit, and we're probably going to see a lot more trades by the end of the week when we have that non-farm payroll report business going on.